Hi guys, this is KACEE. Thank you for tuning in. Today I wanted to do a reading for our light workers and see what kind of messages we can get from spirit. So this will not be for your signs. It's going to be if you resonate as a light worker. Some of us are at a certain level that's where our calling is. And it's nor good nor bad if you have not been called to awaken at this time. Hopefully, if you're listening to this message, this is where you begin to awaken and find that bigger meaning in the purpose of where your gifts are supposed to go. So I thought it'd be important to see if we can do a reading and get some guidance on that from spirit. So light workers, I was shuffling the cards and one popped up. I mean, I just literally opened the card deck to shuffle and one popped out. And it was the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. And I thought that was so intense because, you know, I'm sitting here trying to think, should I do the reading? Shouldn't I do the reading? You know, and then the 7th chakra comes out. And this is where you're really downloading the messages from the divine. You're doing your spiritual work. You're going and doing the spiritual battle, whether it's on the other side or if it's here on the physical. People are starting to recognize the difference in you. They're looking at you differently. Some people might even think that you're kind of scary because of the energy that is surrounding you right now is so intense. And it's not like you have a bad energy. It's just vibrating so loudly that other people are afraid of it. So I wanted to do some cards to see if we can get any messages. So when that one popped out, I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Right off the bat, here we go. Spirit is yelling at us. But they're yelling at us in a good way. They're telling us to open up, notice the things that are going on around us that are expanding us, making us question what is happening to us, why we're having these encounters with people here on the earthly plane that seem a little odd. I know I had one the other day and SHAE and I were talking about it because I couldn't really pinpoint where I was going with it. And I can usually read a room pretty well. But for this particular energy, I was up against it and it was like he was challenging me spiritually. And I wasn't having any of it. I was really on guard and in my warrior zone when this person was coming into my space. So I thought that was really interesting that he was challenging me spiritually and not just, and he wasn't doing anything, to be honest with you. He wasn't doing a thing. Just his presence, just the way he looked, the way he carried himself. I was just getting this vibe. So I wanted to kind of see if you guys were getting those kind of synchronicities where you are experiencing it on the earthly plane, because, you know, we're all about love and light. However, there is a very important thing I want to mention. We want to do no harm, but take no shit. You know, that's a saying that we say, and it really comes true because we're going to be challenged. And of course, we don't want to hurt anyone else, but we also don't want people coming at us that we have to stand up for ourselves. We are warriors of the light, and we are battling right now. And as we're all coming together and we're doing these readings for each other and we're communicating on social media and learning and growing, we're all inspiring each other to do the best we can. But sometimes we have to come out as the warrior. Now, we also pulled the Goddess of the Moon card, and this is a beautiful card about connection to spirit, knowing that there's a higher purpose for the things that we're doing, being very intuitive. This doesn't have a illusion factor. And if it did, I would represent it as the fact that we don't know all of our gifts. We don't know exactly what's on the other side of that veil. We all have different experiences and little blips of seeing through the veil, but we don't know its entirety. So that could be the illusion part of this card if you wanted to take it on that aspect. So we're going to pull some major arcana as well so that we can get more of a message with these two cards, because this is very intuitive, this is very spiritual. You know, we're really being tested every which way we're going, but it's only bringing us closer to the enlightenment that we need to be on. You know, if you're listening to some of the other readers, that they touch on the 144, they touch on all different aspects of how we're growing for a purpose that we have to all work together. Here we have the Chariot, which is about moving fast, being very determined, being in control. So what Spirit is trying to tell us is that as light workers, we have to be in control of our gifts. We have to really hone them. We have to really understand them. We have to really work together to enlighten each other. I'm getting that really, really strongly, that we have to be a united front from when we do have to go do the work, whether we do it while we're sleeping, meditating, when we cross over to that veil and we are working very, very hard on that project. I was listening to a reader the other day, and she on the eclipse had put some stuff up and how tired she was, and how she had worked while she was in her sleep zone. And I totally related to that, because there are times that I feel like I've ran a marathon in my dreams, and when I wake up, I either don't remember anything or I remember it in its entirety, but it doesn't make any sense. And then I dwell on it. I have my dream journal. I kind of try to put pieces together, and that's when we're working the hardest. So if you ever wake up and you're exhausted, but you went to bed early and you slept through the night and you are drained like you have the flu, you can't even move, that means that you have done something in your spiritual quest, on your spiritual journey, for the enlightenment of everyone and for the betterment of everyone. You were doing your light worker stuff. So now we're coming in with the Tower card for the Goddess of the Moon Clarifier, and that's talking about changes. This big changes. I don't feel that this is going to be a disruption of where you have to build it back up again, that, you know, everything goes haywire. I think that something huge comes in for us that changes the way we look at things. We become very enlightened, like all at the same time. It's like we all have that epiphany of why we're doing what we're doing and how our gifts and our intuition are working. And it kind of jumps like really high. Like we jump like 3 grades. That's, you know, it's not something we can't control, though. That's why I'm only saying 3 grades, you know, because we don't want to go too far. Like I always talk about, we want to take what we can manifest and manipulate and cultivate now, but they're going to really enlighten us, and it's going to be a very big awakening. It's going to be a very big change for us. Let's go ahead with obstacles or advice. We are doing very, very well. But we have a lot more work to do, and we have to do it as a community as well as individually. Keep our identity. But we have to teach what we know, and we have to learn what others have discovered, so that, you know, we can raise that vibration together, that we become enlightened in different aspects, in different areas of our lives. Okay, light workers, we have crown chakra twice. This is really intense from Spirit. You know, they're really driving us right now. They're waking us up. People are becoming enlightened all the time. You know, our community of this like-minded thought process is growing, and it's growing rapidly. You know, social media is a beautiful thing because it's allowing us to connect to other people, but we have to be careful of social media as well, because we want to do our own research when something sparks our interest and decide for ourselves in where our journey is, how we're going to use that information. But we are downloading so fast from Spirit. All of us are, you know. We had the eclipse, we're having the new moons, the full moons, you know, everything is coming together for that. You know, when we have a lot of stuff going on with the moons and the eclipses, it opens things up for us to download faster. It's like the veil gets really thin, and we're able to do more work during those times. So that's the time that we really manifest and come together spiritually to do whatever it is that we're supposed to do on the other side. And here we have hope. That is a success or a sun card. You know, when we talk with the sun, this is your vitality and your warmth and the positivity that you bring forth with your craft, with your gift, while you're doing what you need to do on the spiritual level. You're putting everything you have into this. And again, it's success. It's also being connected to source again, because the sun card is the brightest card of all the decks. I mean, all the cards in that deck. It illuminates, and if you can see, and I don't think I ever noticed this before, inside the sun here is actually a person, You know, that's spirit. That's our spirit guides. Those are our angels. That is at the core of everything that we're doing. So this light worker reading is really coming in strong, that we're going to be awakened really fast and really quickly. So we need to be on guard. We need to be ready and have control over our gifts and ready to fight the fight that we have to do. Heartache and loss comes in. This is where we build our knowledge base, is from our heartache and loss. The things that have happened to us on the earthly plane. As they say, we are spiritual beings having a human existence. And what they mean by that is we are so pure in our spiritual sense that when we come here in our human form, we are learning things in order to raise our vibration that we could not, or it would take a long time for us to learn without going through all these quick heartaches, the losses, you know, the separations, the deaths, everything that we go through that hurts us emotionally. That is what's making us grow on the spiritual level. And the harder the loss, the more you grow spiritually. That's pretty much how it works. So this is how we go through the things that we go through, because that allows us to have empathy for other people, because we've been there. We've made it through. We can advise them on that. So of course we can advise them on our spiritual level as well. The waiting game. Yes, we're all sitting here waiting for that one day that we wake up and our gifts are so in tuned. It's like we have magic, you know, and that is what we're waiting for, because there is magic on the other side. We're used to having that magic. So we're waiting for that magic to erupt here on the physical level. And it takes, you know, a lot to open that back up again. Emotional withdrawal here is not about sadness. It's about meditation. It's about communing with spirit. It's about really focusing on who you are, what you're doing, making sure you're taking care of your spiritual self, and you're taking that time, because the waiting game, you know, while we wait, we have to use our time wisely. And that's learning, that's exploring, that's researching, that's getting one with spirit, knowing when the spirit is talking to you and knowing when it's your ego talking to you. Because sometimes, you know, those two voices can sound the same. So we have to make sure we know exactly what we're downloading versus what we're feeling of the earthly demands that we have. In Passion Ignited, I am not surprised this came up, because this is where we're getting that feeling. We're very passionate about this. We're very driven with this. It's, you know, we eat, sleep, and everything else with this. This is all we think about, is using our vibration. You know, why are we having these downloads? Was that really a dream? Did I really see that? Am I hearing this correctly? You know, we're all trying to process, and we get very excited when spirit confirms what we think. And it drives us further to raise our vibration. It's like a new gift every day. At least it is for me. Every day Spirit's showing me something new about myself, about my gift. And I feel that you guys are doing the same thing on your end. You know, that's why we're reaching out to different communities, and we're doing all the things we're supposed to do, so we get validation that other people are doing the same thing and feeling the same way and experiencing stuff that has you can't really explain, you know, but it comes true. Page of Cups in reverse. Now, because of this being a Lightworkers reading, I'm going to read the Page of Cups, is that we're not going to apologize for our gifts. We know that this is who we are. We feel it. It's for the greater good of everyone else. You know, we can help other people. We're helping ourselves. We're also warriors to the negative energy, that we're not going to allow that to influence us. We're going to put up a barrier. We're going to let them know we stand strong. We stand together because of what our end goal is. We're not going to apologize for that. This is who we are. And we're very strong, especially together. We're very strong. Yes, Queen of Cups in reverse. Absolutely. You know, we are very strong together as a community, and we're codependent on each other, because we are all working for the same goal. So that's very important to know, that as you are creating your tribe and the people around you that are like-minded, that are on the same path, you know, we are very much codependent on each other to learn and to grow and to lift each other up. You know, that's why we are coming together now, and that's why we're trying to learn as much as we can, because we have so much information at our fingertips that is all kind of clicking. So, you know, we're not going to apologize for that either, because that is how we are going to manifest what's needed and do the jobs that we're asked to do when we come down to the earthly plane. As I've mentioned before, we know what our job is and what our goal is before we're born. We have an imprint, we have a map, you know, we just forget that so that we can learn them without having any prior knowledge. And we can be very open to the experiences and not think that we know exactly how it's supposed to end. You know, that there's a mystery to it, that if we came down knowing the blueprints, you know, we would just be going through the motions. We have to experience everything. Yes, like I said, Four of Wands, community. This is what we're doing. We're using our community to our benefit. Ten of Cups in reverse talks about, you know, the misalignment of values with some people that we're not apologizing to. And we're not going to worry about it. Nine of Swords in reverse. So we have the Four of Wands in the upright. Happy community, tribe, sisterhood, brotherhood, family. Then we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. And this is misalignment of values. Those are the people we're not going to say that, I'm sorry, this is who I am. I've been through this. I know what I'm doing. I know that this shakeup is going to change who I am, or who you thought I was, because I'm growing. They will find their own path to grow, but as light workers, we're elevated higher than that. And there's some people that either don't want to work on their spiritual journey, they're blocking it, they haven't found the path yet, whatever it is. We can't be worried about what they're thinking at this point, because we have something more important. And it upsets some people that we feel that way, and we actually stand up to them, because if you notice, you have the Three of Cups in reverse and we have the Four of Wands in the upright. That third party situation, that negative energy is what the third party situation is. We're not going to put up with that. We're going to walk away from it. We're not going to worry about it, because we know where we're going, because we're starting a new cycle here. All of us collectively are starting a new cycle. Yes, absolutely. We're pulling together so that when we're called in that wheel of the year is in the upright, because right now, I'm sorry, I don't know if I mentioned it, it's in the reverse. When we get to that top, it's because we've gone through all the stages, we've learned all the lessons. So when we get to the top and it's our time to be called to do something, we've been doing all the work and we've been doing all the homework for this battle, you know. When we all come together as one community, we are stronger than if we do it alone. We do the research alone and we cultivate our gifts alone, but when we're called to do something, we come as a team. And we don't even have to know each other. That makes no difference. When the calling comes, we all show up. Here we have hope, spirituality, seeing the future, having that openness that things will be okay, that what we're doing is on the right path, that collectively, while we come together and we're doing the work that is asked of us, we have hope, we have love, we have, you know, a better look on life. In our spirituality, we feel that joy. We know we're doing the right thing. We're not entertaining those negative vibrations and those negative energies when we're doing our soul work. You know, a lot of us are doing it while we're sleeping. So if you, like I said, if you wake up and you are exhausted and you can't figure out why, because you ate right, you know, you didn't overdo on any aspect, you went to sleep early, you know, you did everything you were supposed to do, but you feel like you ran a marathon, you guys are working and working hard. Your angel message, Lightworkers, is meditation. And it reads, Dear Archangel Raphael, please meditate with me and guide my mind and body to focus upon peace, health, and wellness. Well, that's a beautiful way to end this reading, because this is exactly what our focus is. Peace, health, wellness, joy, hope. That is what we're as light workers, that's what we're putting out to other people, lifting them up out of that negative energy, helping them raise their vibration, and helping ourselves do the same. You know, as we help others, we feel lighter, we feel more joy, we feel like we're being lifted up. So it's a two-way street with that energy, and that's beautiful. Light workers, you are doing awesome. You know, keep doing what you need to do, keep cultivating your gifts, and keep spreading your joy. Also, make sure you put up those boundaries when those negative energies come to you. That's not what you want to entertain, and be that warrior that you are. Thank you so much for letting me read. I really enjoyed this reading with you today. Please leave me a comment and let me know what you think and where you happen to be, or you can shoot me an email as well. I would love to correspond. Thanks so much. Take care.